Dating you felt like community service, she joked at a party, so I walked out without a word. Now she's desperate, and I don't even answer her calls. Hey viewers, before we move on to the video, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button if you want to see more stories like this. Thanks. I'll be honest, I never thought I'd be the kind of guy telling a story like this. I've always kept my head down, done the right thing, tried to be dependable. I wasn't flashy or the life of the party, but I figured being steady counted for something. At least, that's what I thought until Maya. When we met, I thought she was way out of my league. Maya had that kind of presence that made every room pause when she walked in. She was witty, stylish, and never seemed to doubt herself. I'm the opposite, the kind of guy who works late, pays his bills on time, and double-checks if the stove is off before leaving the house. But she chose me. At least, that's what I believed for 2 years. We met through a mutual friend at a trivia night. She crushed every pop culture question. I handled the geography and history. By the end of the night, we were sitting together, laughing like we'd known each other for years. I still remember her saying, "You're like safe." I like that. I didn't realize it at the time, but looking back, the word safe was the first red flag. Our relationship looked normal from the outside. Dinners, movie nights, road trips. She'd brag about how thoughtful I was, the way I'd surprise her with coffee before her morning classes, or how I picked her up after late nights at her job. I thought we had a balance. She was spontaneous, I was grounded. But underneath, there were cracks. Maya liked attention, not in small doses, but constantly. If we went out, she had to be the loudest laugh in the room. If someone complimented me, she'd joke, "Don't give him too big of a head. He still thinks socks with sandals are a fashion choice." Always cutting humor, always just enough to get a laugh at my expense. I brushed it off. That's just Maya, I told myself. She teases because she's comfortable. And I really did love her. I paid half her rent for 6 months when her hours were cut. I skipped a promotion opportunity because it required relocation, and she said she wasn't sure she could handle long distance. I drove her to her brother's soccer games every weekend because she hated highways. All of it felt worth it because I believed we were building a future. Maya, though, she liked being admired more than being loved. She'd light up when guys at bars bought her drinks, then nudge me like, "See? Still got it." I laughed it off, pretending it didn't sting. She swore it was harmless, that she was just funny and social. But deep down I knew she liked being wanted. The thing is, I never gave her a reason to doubt me. I wasn't perfect, but I was committed. I thought commitment was enough. Which is why what happened at that party hit me harder than anything else in my life. Looking back, the signs were there. The teasing that went too far, the way she treated my loyalty like background noise, the jokes at my expense that crossed the line. I just never thought she'd be cruel enough to do it in front of everyone. But she was. And that's where everything changed. It happened at a party one of our mutual friends threw. The kind where everyone you know from different corners of your life shows up. Co-workers, old classmates, siblings of friends. Loud music, too much beer, people shoulder to shoulder in the kitchen laughing about nothing. I wasn't much of a party guy, but Maya lived for these nights. She liked being the center of attention, telling stories, holding court in a circle of people who hung on her every word. I was used to standing a little off to the side, drink in hand, listening, smiling when she pulled me in for a quick kiss to remind people I was hers. That night, she was in rare form. Hair perfect, glass of wine in hand, commanding the group like she was born for it. I stood close, not needing to compete, just content to be there with her. Someone asked how we got together. A harmless question. I thought she'd talk about trivia night, or how I always remembered her coffee order, or some cute story we shared. Instead, she grinned, tilted her head back dramatically, and said, "Honestly, dating him felt like community service." I had to give back somehow, right? The room went quiet for half a second. Then a few people chuckled nervously, like they weren't sure if they should laugh or not. Maya doubled down, waving her hand like it was the funniest thing in the world. "No, but seriously, he's so dependable. It's like adopting a rescue dog. You do it out of the goodness of your heart." Laughter. Real laughter this time, because she sold it like a punchline. I felt every face flicker toward me, waiting to see how I'd take it. And I just stood there, drink in hand, frozen. I wanted to be angry. I wanted to say something sharp that would cut her down the way she just cut me. But what came over me wasn't anger. It was clarity. A calm so sharp it almost hurt. This was who she really was. Not just the flirty comments at bars or the digs at my expense. This was her truth. I wasn't her partner. I was her charity project. So I didn't give her a scene. I didn't argue or defend myself. I set my drink down on the counter, grabbed my coat off the back of a chair, and walked out. No slammed doors. No raised voice. Just gone. I heard her behind me as I moved through the crowd. Wait, what? Babe, I was joking. I didn't stop. Oh, come on, don't be dramatic. It was funny. Still walking. Out the door, into the night air, my heart pounding so hard I thought it would crack my ribs. People watched me go, but I didn't care. For once, all the noise around Maya didn't matter. By the time I reached my car, my phone was buzzing in my pocket. Her name lit up the screen. Then a text. Maya, seriously? You're gonna storm out over a joke? I slid my phone into the cup holder without answering, turned the key, and drove off. I didn't go home to her place. I didn't go back to the party. I went to my own apartment, sat on the edge of the bed, and stared at the wall in silence. That was the night everything broke. And the night I realized silence could be louder than anything I could ever say. When I got back to my apartment that night, I didn't turn on the lights. I just sat there in the dark, the glow of my phone lighting up every few minutes as messages came in. First it was calls, then texts. Maya, seriously, you're embarrassing me. Everyone thinks you're mad at me over a joke. Maya, you could have just laughed. God, you're so sensitive sometimes. Maya, answer your phone. I stared at the screen, but I didn't touch it. My chest still burned, but under the burn was something else. Cold. Final. For 2 years, I'd excused every little dig, every jab disguised as humor, every time she put me second. I told myself she was playful, confident, larger than life. That this was just her way. But now I could see it for what it was, contempt. The truth was, she never respected me. And if there was no respect, what was the point? The next morning, I woke up to 3 voicemails. I didn't listen to them. She'd messaged again. Maya, can we talk? I think you're blowing this way out of proportion. Maya, you know I love you. Don't let one stupid joke ruin everything. Maya, you're punishing me for being funny. That's messed up. I didn't answer. I didn't even type a reply and delete it. I just muted the thread and set my phone down. Later that day, one of my buddies from the party texted me. Friend, dude, you good? That was brutal. Me, I'm fine. Friend, she was out of line, man. Nobody thought it was funny. You did the right thing. For the first time in a long while, I believed someone when they said that. The silence stretched into days. Maya went from defensive to guilt-tripping. Maya, so this is it? You're just gonna ghost me. Maya, after everything I did for you? Unbelievable. Maya, you're lucky I put up with your boring ass. The last message made me laugh. Not the bitter kind of laugh, but the kind that comes when you finally see the whole picture. She really thought I was the lucky one. I blocked her number after that. That week was quiet. Painfully quiet at first, like walking through a house that used to have music playing in every room. But slowly, I started to feel something I hadn't in a long time. Peace. No snide comments. No being the butt of every joke. No scrambling to prove I was fun enough for her. Just me. My space. My silence. And as much as it stung to admit, I realized I hadn't lost a partner. I just walked away from someone who never saw me as one. It was the cleanest break I'd ever had in my life. And it was only the beginning of her downfall. Word got around faster than I expected. I didn't tell anyone what happened, but I didn't have to. Everyone at that party heard her say it. And people talk. At first, she tried to spin it. A mutual friend told me Maya had been saying, he just can't take a joke. He's too uptight. I can't be with someone who's that sensitive. But apparently, not everyone bought it. I guess the community service line sounded crueler in retelling than it did in the moment. One by one, I noticed friends stop inviting her to group hangouts. Someone even removed her from a group chat I was still in. She must have felt it, because her posts got louder. Selfies with captions like unbothered nail polish, or vague quotes about strong women not needing weak men. Then came the new guy. Within weeks, she was posting about him. He was the opposite of me. Loud, flashy, the kind of guy who wore designer belts to backyard barbecues. In every picture, he was front and center, sunglasses on indoors, shirt unbuttoned halfway. Her captions were nauseating. Finally, with someone who matches my energy fire sparkles. I didn't comment. I didn't stalk his page. I didn't even block her. By then, I had her muted everywhere. But screenshots still found their way to me through friends. And then, just as quickly as he appeared, he blew her world apart. Apparently, he wasn't exactly exclusive. People saw him at bars with other women, openly flirting, even making out with someone else in front of half a dozen mutual acquaintances. When Maya confronted him, loudly, in a restaurant, from what I heard, he laughed in her face and said, "What did you expect? You're fun, but you're not the only one." Poetic, really. After that, the tone of her post shifted. Less unbothered, more desperate. Sad quotes about betrayal. Stories of her wine glass and sad music. The kind of stuff that screams, "Please, someone feel bad for me." But nobody rushed to comfort her. The same friends who used to laugh at her jokes now rolled their eyes. I even got a message from a mutual friend saying, "Maya's spiraling. You're smart for staying out of it." For the first time in a long time, I didn't feel like the butt of the joke. Instead, I felt free. I started focusing on myself again. Long runs in the morning, cooking real meals instead of grabbing takeout, putting in extra effort at work. Without the constant drain of trying to keep Maya entertained, my life started to expand. Meanwhile, hers shrank. I'd hear little updates here and there. How she showed up to a birthday dinner and barely anyone talked to her. How she cornered one of our friends to rant about how unfair everyone was being. How she begged to get added back to the group chat, only to be ignored. Every story felt like confirmation. I didn't need to lift a finger. Maya was undoing herself. The same sharp tongue she used to keep everyone laughing was now pushing people away. The same confidence she wore like a crown was revealed to be nothing more than arrogance. It was happening in real time. The fall of someone who thought she was untouchable. And I wasn't angry anymore. I was just watching from a distance, calm, detached, almost amused. Because karma was doing all the heavy lifting for me. The first time she reached out, it was subtle. A random text one night. "Hey, I was just thinking about you. Hope you're okay." I stared at it for a while. No apology. No acknowledgement of what she'd said. Just a fishing line tossed into the water, hoping I'd bite. I didn't reply. A week later, I drove past that little taco place you love. Remember when we went there and you ate like 5 tacos? Faced with tears of joy again, no apology. Just nostalgia dressed up as small talk. I ignored that one too. Then came the late night calls. I never picked up, but she left voicemails. Her voice sounded less sure than I remembered. One was almost frantic. "I don't understand why you're ignoring me. I know I messed up, but we had something real, right? Please just call me back. Please." There it was. The crack in her armor. But I still didn't answer. The messages piled up. Angry ones. "Wow. So you're just going to throw everything away because of one stupid comment? Grow up." Sad ones. "I miss you. Nobody knows me like you do." Manipulative ones. "I can't sleep. I feel like my whole life is falling apart, and you don't even care." And eventually, desperate ones. "Can we just talk? Please. I'll explain everything. I'll fix it. Just give me one more chance." But I wasn't angry anymore. I wasn't bitter. I was done. I realized she wasn't really apologizing for what she did. She was apologizing for the consequences. She wanted the comfort of having me around again. Someone steady, safe, dependable. Now that her flashy new guy had humiliated her and her friends had drifted away. I wasn't her safe harbor. I was her backup plan. And I refused to be that. So I stayed silent. My life, meanwhile, kept moving forward. I landed a promotion at work. I got into the best shape of my life. I started meeting new people, not chasing anything serious at first, just enjoying conversations with women who actually respected me. And every day I ignored Maya's calls. Her voice in those voicemails sounded smaller, less powerful. The queen who once held court with cutting jokes and smug little smirks was reduced to begging for the attention of the man she once called community service. And I didn't have to lift a finger. Months passed. The last message I got from her was short. No jokes. No anger. No fake confidence. Just, "I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that. I know I can't take it back, but I regret it every day." For a moment, I almost felt something. Not sympathy, just a sense of finality. But I didn't reply, because by then, I had moved on in every sense of the word. I met someone new. Someone kind. Someone who didn't roll her eyes when I talked about my goals, or use me as the setup for a punchline, or see me as some kind of stepping stone until something better came along. The contrast was staggering. Where Maya had made me feel small, this woman made me feel capable. Where Maya had drained me, she encouraged me. Where Maya had treated me like a joke, she treated me like a man worth respecting. And here's the thing, I didn't need revenge. I didn't need to clap back with a witty one-liner. I didn't need to expose her in front of everyone. I didn't even need to answer her messages. Because the truth is, Maya destroyed herself. The friends she alienated didn't come back. The guy she chased moved on without a second thought. The image she tried so hard to curate online turned hollow, obvious, and desperate. Her words, "Dating you is like doing community service," had been meant to humiliate me. Instead, they ended up defining her. And me? I built something better. A better life, better friendships, better love. I never gave her the satisfaction of knowing how much she hurt me. I never gave her the closure she wanted. I let silence do all the talking. Because sometimes the best revenge isn't anger. It's indifference. It's proving, not to her, not to anyone else, but to yourself, that you were never the problem. She wanted to make me feel like a joke. Instead, she became one. And I walked away smiling. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button. What do you think about this story? Share it in the comments.